Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer here, Michael Hyson, aka Angelus, son of Abaddon. First of all, I want to apologize for my last video. We had a little bit of a internet issue, so I had to stop the video, delete it, and reconnect to the internet because of the fact, for some reason, it was an internet dispersion. Okay. Um, not really sure why it was a dip in the internet, why it kind of booted me off the internet a little bit. Not sure why, but it was there. So I had to, like I said, just simply disconnect from the internet and then come back on. So we're now back on the internet. So I'm going to redo this video on Satanism and Demonolatry recap. Basically because it is a recap, and of what I was just talking about. So here we are again for round 2. All right. First of all, VK Jahanam, Satanism and battling the disincarnate demons. Okay. Wow. All right. Number one, I have never had to battle a demon. I have never had to force a demon to do my will or to do anything for me. This is something that is a false ideology. It is it's a state of falsity due to the fact that a lot of people, more and more people, believe today that it is about forcing a spirit to do your will. It is about fighting that demon with a rod of power using a superior name. Okay, like Elohim, Yazad, whatever. Now, first of all, as a 29-year practitioner of traditional and theistic Satanism, I can honestly tell you I have never had to force a demon to do anything for me. I've petitioned demons. I've made deals with demons. With the Demerge, I've made multiple different types of pacts with them. From the Witch's Creed, to a Faustian deal, to the Infernal pacts, to the Dark pacts. I've done all of these. I've even gone to individual demonic lords, such as Paimon, Beelzebub, Astaroth, Belial. I've never had to fight them. Not once. Not once. I've had the utmost respect for these beings. It doesn't matter if they're the Ugan, from Pelo Mayambi, Santeria, Quimbanda, Umbanda, or the Loa within Voodoo or Voodoo, no matter if it's African spiritualism, no matter if it's Haitian or New Orleans, New York even, the Creole traditions, to witchcraft, Satanism. I have never had to force these beings once to appear. I have never had to force them with a rod to intimidate them to do my will, like in the Grand Grimoire Red Dragon, the Salamantic practices. Not once. have I had to do this, VK. And in your video, Satanism, Satanists, and I'm going to bring this up real fast from my cell phone so that you, ladies and gentlemen, can get a clear understanding of how we put it. Can Satanists battle incarnate demons? This is your title, VK. Okay? And I've watched probably about 5 to 10 minutes of this video before I had to get the hell off of it. I was laughing so hard at your stupidity on this, because of the fact that if you knew anything about Satanism, as I stated the last time you and I had a conflict where you had to literally apologize publicly because you were led down a desolate road of misinformation. You were given false information. This should have taught you that you need to do your own research. Okay? There are, I don't know how many sources out there that speaks to demonolatry, from S. Connolly to White to Crowley to the Qliphoth, the Kabbalah, which the Hermeneutics even, to which you practice. Okay? And now you're sitting here saying that a Satanist needs to battle a demon? Well, first of all, VK, a Satanist willingly aligns with the Demerge, willingly aligns themselves with Satan, Beelzebub, Belial, Azazel. These are beings that you align yourself with willingly to learn from. Lucifer, the bearer of light and truth. Sun god. Phosphorus in ancient Greek. Ra in Egyptian. The sun god, Inti in Incan. Apollo in Greek. There's so many different sun gods out there. Enlighteners of the East, the heir of enlightenment. All he wanted to do was enlighten mankind, and he was thrown out of heaven, according to Isaiah 14:12 through 15, because he wanted to set his throne above the heavens. Isn't that about evolution? You see my point. This is not the JCI practice. This is about evolution. It is about aligning yourself with the currents. It's about your individual path working, not the herd conformity. We don't have to go out and sue over stupid shit like the TST does. We don't have to put a price on everything like the COS. We don't have to use a rod of power like that in the Grimoire traditions of the Grand Grimoire, the Constitution of Pope Honorius. We don't have to use devil traps like that of the Black Raven, or I should say the Black Pellet, rather, where you need symbols to entrap or ensnare a demon. We call upon them freely and willingly. We align ourselves with them freely and willingly. We work with them freely. The Latin term, Indomus de ornament osium, welcome to the house of gold and bones. We open our arms willingly and accept you willingly into ourselves through evocation, through invocation. It doesn't matter if we're using a circle of empowerment, the triangle of evocation. It doesn't matter if we just go to our altars, light the candles, and invoke them into ourselves or outside of ourselves using any form of divination, candle magic, scrying bowls, scrying mirrors, pendulums, dowsing rods. It doesn't matter if we're using cartomancy. We do it willingly to learn from them. We don't battle demons. We don't battle them or force them into submission. We work with them freely and willingly. Satan is the lord of witches and warlocks. His name, his earliest mention of his name is found in the Munich manuscripts as Lord of the Shaitans, Iblis, the Lord of the Jinn. Angelology, he is a watcher, the chief watcher angel, a Gorgori, whereas Lucifer is an archangel. We don't force them to do anything. We petition them. I'll get to your question in just a minute, wild child. Okay. Second of all, my blog on Facebook, one that I haven't been on in about a year, if not more, because I got bored with it and I just never went back. It's called the Satanic Warlock blog. It was just where I put my personal thoughts and satanic thoughts into this blog. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Reynolds. Okay. And I want to read some of this stuff that he put on this blog. I mean, you want to talk pathetic that doesn't have any form of knowledge of what he's asking for. Now, keep in mind, I have not talked to this moron, and I'm not going to talk to this moron. I'm not even going to help this moron. Okay? And this is why. Number one, he needs mental health. He needs to see a counselor, perhaps even check himself into a psych ward. Second of all, he needs to make up with mama and daddy. And this is why. Can you have my parents' souls taken away and a binding spell cast on Alexa Bliss so she does anything I want or need, plus become sexual obsessed with me for the rest of her? A binding to be spell cast on Alexa Bliss so that she does anything I want and need, plus but become sexual obsessed with me for the rest of her life, plus I want my parents' memories swiped clean of every bad thing I've ever done. I request that my parents' memories are wiped clean of everything. He's basically repeating himself here. And then he goes on to say, I gladly offer my soul. I await your answer. Hail Satan. Both my parents are killed tonight, and I become a vampire with their powers to control women's minds and souls. Hail Satan, I officially give my soul. Will you grant this? Okay. This is between, let's see, January 18th at 5:38 a.m. all the way until about 2 hours ago at 6:42 p.m. Okay, this is how many times this moron has messaged me. All right, so let's break this down. First of all, you're a fat ass slob that needs to hit a fucking treadmill and work out. You look like Jabba the Hutt, literally. Second of all, there is no way in fucking hell that you would nail Alexis Bliss. Hell, she's even out of my fucking league, and I even know that. But you can actually use, say, for an example, a persona and actually apply that to work in your advantage. Doesn't matter if you're an average Joe or a rich, Posado, like Robert Johnson, for an example, who wrote the Satanic Warlock book, Compendium to the Satanic Witch. All right. Second of all, you need psychiatric help. Okay. Namely because you have such mama and daddy issues that you can't even make up your mind on what you want to happen to them. First, you want their memories swiped. You want them to forget. You want their souls taken from them. And then finally, you want them dead. Okay? Number one, that's called daddy issues. That's called parent issues. Okay? More so, it's also considered criminal threatening. Okay? It even further, that can actually go into attempted murder through what's that term there? It's conspiracy to commit. Okay? Which the legal system can nail you on. All right? Now, as for the other things, you're petitioning me to do this stuff. The answer is no. I will not help you. And I doubt any other sorcerer or sorceress would help you either. This is because of the fact that you need help. You need to get your mind in check. Second of all, you really need to have a clear understanding about sorcery in general, specifically the mechanics of ritual. Okay? Number one, Satan doesn't want your soul. Hell, I don't want your fucking soul. All right? No one wants your fucking soul. This is another thing, a false persona put on by the JCI. The Judo Christian institutions commit fear, division, and adversities. Okay? They want to keep you down and ignorant and stupid. Learn to pick up a book and actually do your own fucking research. A 2-second Google search will tell you everything you want to know. Okay? Now, I wanted to bring this stuff to your attention because of the fact that more and more questions are coming up about this. Not just are Satan and Lucifer the same individual, like in the Luciferian Satanism. A lot of individuals believe in that field that they are nothing more as masks. Okay? Whereas atheistics believe it's more of the fact that you can call upon them and deny them at the same fucking hypocritical time. Okay, this is called duality. You want to call upon the devil's name, but yet you don't believe that he's real. Where do you think magic comes from? Who grants these wishes? Through your rituals. You can't be an atheist and a Satanist at the same goddamn time. It's like trying to sell your soul to a being that doesn't give two shits about your soul. Plain and simple. Satan doesn't want your soul. I don't want your fucking soul. Hell, if I wanted your soul, I'd take it from you anyways. Just so I can bitch slap you up one side and down the other. For being so goddamn stupid. Soul Train wants your soul. That's like saying Ozzy Osbourne and Trump want a piece of that action. But anyways, moving on. Now, I'm not trying to start a war with VK, okay? I'm just trying to enlighten him on Satanism, okay? Satanism is not about bending demons or any form of spirit to your will. It's about aligning yourself with the energies and working alongside them for the betterment. If you work for Satan and his demons, you're going to be working for the same goals. You're going to be helping each other out. It's that give and take atmosphere. Okay. That saloon gate from the 18th century, 17th, 18th century that you see on those Western films goes both ways. It is a door that goes both ways. It's the give and take relationship that you build up through trust and respect over time. Okay. That's just a correction on your video. Okay. And like I said, I only watched maybe 5 to 10 minutes of that video before I had to get the hell off of it. I was laughing so fucking hard. Um, so, anyways, Wild Child Tarot put forth a question. Who would you call on if someone threatened your life and that of your loved ones? Well, first of all, I would not summon anybody right off the bat. Number one, I would put up seals of cloaking, protection, arbitration, reversals, and make sure that all negative and baneful energies are gone from my place of residence and from around my family. Okay? Not just myself, but them as well. This can be done through herbalism, alchemy, gems such as quartz crystals, depending on the size of them. You can actually put them at the four corners, the four quarters, and really activate them. You can use dragon's blood, frankincense, and myrrh to create a protection bubble. Doing an inverted am saying, with a mantra such as "In nomine di nostri satanae luciferi excelsi," for an example, or "In domus deorum et asium." You can even go alpha, beta, omega. Whatever philosophy that you follow, utilize that because every tradition has their own system of mantra. Okay, but you got to find out what works for you through the dietas that you follow and work with. Okay. If that continues, 9 times out of 10, their threats are, well, let's just say they fall on deaf ears because they're not going to do anything. They're too much of a fucking pussy to do anything. Okay. But on the off chance, you still have that 1% that somebody may actually have the balls to actually do something. Okay. You could always use the legal system, a OP, order of protection, or that of a no trespassing clause that can be placed to prevent that individual from having any form of contact with you or your family, and also from preventing them from stepping foot onto your place of residence or where you work. Okay. These are just legal means, mundane means that you can utilize. Now, let's say, for an example, we all know that the legal system can't do shit unless they catch them in the act. Okay, which basically means you need witnesses, you need physical proof, like a video stating that they're there after you've had this stuff put in play. Okay, now in that case, I would recommend using certain beings. Now, if you want to harm them, let's say just simply remove them as a threat, I would go with Ariok, Clonic, Samael, Abaddon, you know, some form of, Alistar, the Executioner, even. You want to use beings of hatred, destruction, the 36 Deacons of Destruction, for an example, from the Munich manuscripts, the Munich handbook. I would utilize energy like curses and hexes. I would start out with hexes so that you can actually try to teach them the error of their ways. And if they go beyond that, then guess what? Their ass is grass. Use, curses, destroy them at that point. But those are the things that I would recommend doing. Those would be the beings that I would recommend that you call upon. Um, Again, I would look at the system of magic that you practice. If you're into Voodoo, I would recommend Baron Samedi. Go into Hoodooism, you have Papa Nebo. um, Santa Morte, you have the most holy death, Saint Death herself that you can utilize. You have demons of destruction. You have baneful magic such as curses and hexes and stuff like that that you can utilize. Go into Palo Mayumbi, and you've got the Naganga that can be created specifically for a destruction ritual. You can stick a baneful demon on them through a hex bag, or a box, okay, a witch's box, a spirit box. You can even utilize effigies such as voodoo dolls, things of imagery, utilizing picture of their face, envisioning all your hatred, rage, and all that stuff towards them, and inflict all that pain upon them that way. You don't really need a spirit or a demon to do this stuff when you at your own will, your own ka, your soul that you can call upon. That's what your altar room is for. That's what the rituals are for. Rituals of destruction. Yes, you can call the energy forth. Yeah, even a Grigori, exactly. Salute. Prime example right there. You can even use a golem. Create a zombie. Okay, Haitian zombie powder works marvelously. You know, you can use bones of destruction to eliminate an enemy. There's so much that you can do just in this one topic. But that's what I would recommend to you. Now, personally, I would recommend that you know what you're doing. Learn the mechanics behind every spell and how to utilize it through experimentation. Find out what works, because not everything's going to work the same way. Also, you want to know the time that you can utilize it. That will do the most be the most beneficial to your spell. Okay. The time, the devil's hour, for an example, between 1 and 5 in the morning is a prime example, because that's when most people are in what is classified as the Z state, the most deepest state. Is where they're most helpless. Okay, that's a great time to put a curse on somebody. It's a great time to destroy them. Okay, in that mannerism. But you do need to know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, then it's best to go to somebody who does, that they can give you advice. I mean, even hiring somebody for a consultation is a great way to learn about what your need is, your specific need, to learn about yourself and what you can do. Okay. So, but that's just what I would recommend. But yeah, you do want to know offensive and defensive magics. That's another thing of sorcery, especially that of black magic. But for now, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Is you really want to know the difference between a real practitioner and a wannabe. You got to keep in mind that a lot of people on Facebook and social media, such as YouTube, are out there for publicity stunts. They're more about look at me factor. I'm putting on the bad guy badge and I'm doing this and that. Guess what? Look at me, hate me, love me, whatever. This is why a lot of them set their prices so high when they do ritual services. I mean, I'm not saying most of them are, but there are quite a few out there. I mean, when you take a 6-year-old talking about vampirism, it's like, no, you don't know shit about vampirism at that age. And Father Sebastian would not even permit you even into vampirism, into a coven setting at that state, because we're not the JCI. Okay. You're welcome, wild child. And second of all, we don't indoctrinate from birth. We don't indoctrinate anyone under 18. Okay. We do, however, give out material so that you can study and learn and get a strong foundation of what you want to get into, interest-wise. And when you come of age and you get and you want to get into it, you will have the knowledge to do it. Okay? Especially when you find out what denomination or path working that you want or root working that you want to get into. Okay? Be it traditional Satanism, be it theistic Satanism, demonolaters, being it Luciferian Satanism. Okay? Spiritual Satanism in general. Now, personally, I find theistic and spiritual Satanism to be the same exact thing. But that's just my views right there. And like I said, I'm not starting a witch war with VK or anybody. I'm just putting my 2 cents in and explaining what a Satanist and demons do, not from his perspective. Because his perspective states that we have to apparently go to war with them. The answer is no. We can cut ourselves off from them if they're not upholding their end of the deal. But that's why they have Lucifer Raphael, the infernal scribe and pact maker, so that we can go to him and say, hey, this being is not holding up their end, his or her end. Until further notice, I am not going to work with them until they uphold their end of the deal. And basically say, hey, I need you to deal with this. Bring it to the table. Bring this being to the table and remind them that they have a duty to uphold their end. It is signed in blood. It is signed and dedicated to this pact. Okay? This deal. All right? And that's what it is. Okay? But we don't go to war with a demon, especially one of disincarnate, a former Nephilim. We don't have to do that stuff. And Satanism is definitely not what this freaking Jeremy guy was up to. Okay, what he's trying to petition. I would recommend turning yourself into the cops, go into a mental health facility, and get the fucking help you need. Plain and simple. Yeah, he jumps back and forth more than anybody I've ever seen. And especially going into curses and stuff like that, especially from the Necromyicon, it's a joke, in my opinion. But that's just it. Now, I've got nothing against him, and I've got nothing against anyone. Everybody has their rights and their opinions to do whatever the hell they want to do. Welcome to Satanism. It's about you, not everybody else. So with that said, I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you back here next week. Hail Satan. In nomine Dinostri Satanae Luciferi Excelsi. In nomine Domini Mundi Est Satanae. Have a good one. Agios Satanas.